In this video, I'm going to be talking about when is the best time to send email marketing. It's Paul Tobey from Training Business Pros. Thanks for joining me. Email marketing is very popular these days. Definitely the money's in the list, and I highly encourage you to get a great CRM to use with your email marketing and make sure you're consistently sending out email. But if you're sending out a lot, it's good to know when are the best days and when are the best times to send them. I've got a lot of experience with this, and I'm going to share my experience with you and the times that I think you should be sending email right now. Okay, we're talking about the best times to send email marketing. Just so you know, I've been sending out emails to a lot of people since 2003, 2004, back before we have the advanced CRMs that we have right now. CRMs like ActiveCampaign, Infusionsoft, and GROUNDHOGG. Back in those early days, we had a piece of software called ARP3, Auto Response Plus version 3, which was essentially a simple email blaster and autoresponder that you added in the back end of your website through cPanel. Now, whether you're sending emails back then or whether you're sending them right now, the times are essentially the same. And I'm going to get there in just a second, but there's a couple of things that you need to pay attention to when you're sending emails. First is you don't want to end up in spam folders. It's not so bad if you end up in promotional folders or update folders. It's better to be in primary, of course, but you can train your audience on how to move them from promotions into primary. But essentially, if you end up in spam folders, then you've got a very big problem. It means that there are certain things that those internet service providers need to see in order for your email to end up in an inbox. And that means you have to set your DNS records properly. And that means SPF, DKIM, and even DMARC records. And these things can be set for the autoresponder that you're currently using, or the CRM as it were. And that's very important, because if you don't pay attention to that, then the likelihood that people will continue to open your emails goes down dramatically. You also want to stay away from sending emails to people who don't use those emails anymore. In other words, they bounce. So you should automatically unsubscribe any bounces. And also you want to clean your lists from time to time. I run them through a list cleaner on Clean13, K-L-E-A-N 13, from time to time, just to make sure the list is up to date. Anyway, back in the early days, it was kind of like the Wild West of spamming. We didn't have all of these internet service providers with all these rules. Certainly not things like Gmail or Yahoo or Hotmail, which is really the hardest email inboxes to get into. And also, there was really no way for people to mark emails as spam. It's not as easy as it is today. And of course, as the ISPs get smarter, you need to get smarter as well. And managing your mailing list is a very important skill that you need to learn. It's not like importing a bunch of names and then automatically just sending out emails. There's a lot more things that you need to be considering. So anyway, let's say, for example, that you've got your list managed really, really well. You're continuing to send emails on a regular basis. I would say once a week, or at least once every couple of weeks, and certainly more when you're doing promotions. So when is the best time to send email? So in my experience, when I'm sending out promotional emails, especially ones where we're expecting people to respond and take some type of buying action, meaning we're sending them a coupon, we're sending them some type of promotion where they're going to have to spend whatever money. So the best time is Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. It's less likely that people will take action on the weekend because people are typically doing other things and they're not even really paying attention to their email inbox. Now, I've seen cases where it's a consumer-based offer, a very general audience, where you're sending out some type of freebie. I think if you're sending a freebie, it's okay to send emails early Saturday morning because, people are sitting around with a coffee, not really doing much. Maybe they're checking their email, maybe they're not. But when it's a free offer, it's not a lot of thought process involved for them. So I think free offers are okay in the weekend, but I would still stick to Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday if you're sending out promotional emails, like I say, when you're expecting people to buy. Okay, so what times should you send them out? So I like to send emails at 6 a.m. typically because I want to be the last person in their inbox before they open in their email. And if you know anything about the way email looks in an inbox, which of course you do, it means that the most recent emails appear at the top of the list. So it's a good idea to send your emails out at 6 a.m. because you'll be at or near the top of the list when people start reading through their emails. And of course, if people get a lot of email, like I do, you kind of go through the list in order from top to bottom. Then the next best time I think is 10 a.m. It's kind of mid-morning. People have settled into work and now they're checking their email to see what's going on. So 6 a.m. and then second best is 10 a.m. If you're going to send out an email in the afternoon, then I would recommend 2 p.m. or 8 p.m. So 2 p.m. is kind of like mid-afternoon. They're probably going to check their email sometime between then and the end of their workday. So if you're in there at 2 p.m., then you're probably going to get noticed by people who are checking their email before the end of work. 8 p.m. is, of course, for general audiences, not necessarily a business audience. So if you've got a general audience, send your email out at 8 p.m. and they'll read it before they go to bed, or they're checking their email sometime in the evening. Okay, just to reiterate, Tuesdays, Wednesdays, and Thursdays are the best days to send email. 6 a.m. is by far the best time, 10 a.m. the second best time, and then 2 p.m. or 8 p.m. is kind of like the third best times. The last thing that I want to say is if you're going to choose a CRM to send email marketing, you have to consider which CRM that is and which SMTP service you're using. So for example, if you're using a product like GROUNDHOGG, which is GROUNDHOGG with 2 G's at the end, you can find them online at groundhogg.io. It's a great self-hosted software. It works only for WordPress, and WordPress is by far the most popular platform to build websites. If you are doing, again, the self-hosted thing, that means that you'll need a third-party SMTP service. Now, there's many choices like SendGrid, Mailhawk, and even Amazon Web Services. Now, I've used all of those, and there are several other choices like Mailgun and whatever, but let's just say if you're using a service like Amazon, Amazon has sending limits, which means that they're going to throttle your emails over time. Initially, they'll give you 50,000 emails to send per day, but they'll throttle them to like 8 emails per second. So it takes usually about an hour to send out, say, 50,000 emails, and it could take even longer than that. So what I would suggest is if you're choosing Amazon, then you might want to send out a little earlier than 6 a.m. and have it finish off by 6 a.m. And then if you're choosing SendGrid or Mailhawk or other services, they're going to throttle their emails as well. You might want to check how long it takes to send emails so that, again, you can sort of gauge when you're sending it out to get them out by 6 a.m. in the morning. If you're using a third-party solution like ActiveCampaign, Infusionsoft, GetResponse, MailChimp, whatever, they'll typically send out emails all at one time, but there's still some throttling going on. But at the end of the day, I think it's a faster service, but if your email list is not like 100,000 people, then it's okay to use third party. The difference, of course, is price. The price for sending out 50,000 emails with Amazon Web Services is like $1, and I mean $1. The price for sending out 50,000 emails with ActiveCampaign is several $100s. So there is a price consideration in who you choose as your SMTP service. Okay, so that's my take on email. If you have any more specific questions about when to send an email, what type of emails to send, whether they're promotional or transactional, and or you want to dive into any of these subjects a little bit further and ask specific questions about SMTP services or third-party email sending services, whatever, hey, I'm completely open to that. All you need to do is write your comment below, and I'll see if I can make a video about that. Thanks so much for your time. If you think about it, you might want to subscribe to the channel. There's a lot more videos just like this one on this channel. I look forward to seeing you in one of them. Take care.